Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of RC Retirement. As always, I've got a great topic for you today. I received a message earlier this week from a viewer who had interrogative statements about the taxability of different types of retired pay. Now, he didn't like my answer, but I did think that the information was good for everyone to have. Alright, so here's a brief rundown of how the question actually happened. I'm going to read a portion of the question, and then I'm going to tell you exactly what the excuse me, what the answers are. Now, I'm going to pull this up right from YouTube comments, so then you'll be able to see it all or hear it all. I'm not going to read the entire comment because he got a bit verbose, but I will give you the gist of it. This guy asked, if you retire on the permanent disability retired list, should your disability retirement be reported to the IRS? Your disability retirement is not a standard retirement of 20 years. And he had a couple of follow-on statements. I think he may have been typing it out on a phone and accidentally hitting send. Alright, so I said that retired pay was taxable to the extent that it was not offset by VA compensation. And that is where the interesting back and forth began, because he did not like that answer. In one area he does say, and he may be correct, he says, I think you don't understand my question. According to IRS code, any disability retirement income that was not due to meeting year or age requirements is not taxable. All right, so that is actually where he goes wrong. He said, so the question is whether it ought to be reported at all if that disability retirement income is non-taxable. Okay, so this is definitely where things went askew. He's got some correct information and some incorrect information. So I'm going to give you all the information, and then you'll be better in your own right. Now, my response to his second statement was to go to the DFAS website and actually pull up its information regarding the taxability of various types of pay. And I pasted it directly into my answer. And, well, I won't go into what happened after that. Anyway, here is the information regarding the various types of retired pay and whether or not it's taxable. This comes from dfas.mil under the, well, I'm going to put a link in the notes, so don't worry about me reading off the address. All right, so here's the deal. This will take me a moment because there are several different categories of pay here, so be patient with me. Alright, moving on. Here's the beginning. We have Survivor Benefit Plan and Retired Servicemen's Family Protection Plan premium deductions. And don't worry, I am going to read the definitions here, but I'll try to translate it for you also. It says premiums paid to fund survivor benefits under these plans are treated as deductions from your taxable income. That means, of course, you're not taxed on those premiums. Debt deductions. Amounts collected to recoup overpayments of retired pay, retroactive survivor benefit plan premium adjustments, and some retroactive Department of Veterans Affairs payments are treated as deductions from your taxable income. Upon completion of debt payments, DFAS will mail you a tax certificate stated that you repaid a valid debt over a specific period and stating the amount repaid. You can then use that certificate to adjust tax returns filed during the repayment period by claiming a deduction for the amount you paid. So that's not really relevant to what we're discussing, but I'm just going to read the whole definition for all of these. All right, here's the one for the guy who had the question. All right, he said, or rather DFAS says, if you retire under a disability law, this is for TDRL, PDRL, if you retire under a disability law, temporary disability retirement list, or permanent disability retirement list, your retired pay will be fully non-taxable if your pay is calculated based upon your military, not VA, disability percentage, and you meet one of the following conditions. This is where things were askew with the guy asking the question. So, one of the following conditions must also be met. You were in the military or under a contractual obligation to join the military on September 24th, 1975. There aren't a whole lot of those anymore. Or your military disability rating is combat related. And it says, the welcome letter you received from DFAS when you first retired indicates whether your pay is computed using your military percentage of disability or your years of service. Now let me go over that one more time. Your retired pay will be fully non-taxable if your pay is based upon your military disability percentage and your military disability rating is combat related. If it is not combat related, then your military retirement is taxable. And taxable or not, when it comes to military retired pay, the IRS is notified in some fashion, even if it's by not having anything. DFAS takes care of all of that. So if it's not on your 1099, then don't be concerned. And just for further education, I have put links in the show notes to request previous 1099s, and if you do not already do so, I highly recommend getting your 1099s through the MyPay website rather than having them mailed to you. So that way you can save a copy as a backup. But I'm a digital guy, I don't like paper. Alright, moving on. VA compensation deduction. For most members who retired under a non-disability law, retired pay taxable income is simply reduced by the amount of any VA compensation received. Translation: if you receive VA compensation, we're going to offset dollar for dollar whatever you get from the VA. For members who retired under the temporary disability retired list or the permanent disability retired list, retired pay taxable income is reduced by whichever of the following is greater: the amount of VA compensation received, or a tax-exempt amount of gross pay determined by a formula that I'm not going to read. I am going to put the link to this page in the show notes, and then you can look at the formula yourself. The basics of the formula are, it determines what your military disability retirement is, and then, if applicable, adjusts it for cost of living increases over time. So, just so there's no implication of me holding back anything, that's what's there in the formulas. I'm just not going to describe the formula structure. And it also says this information is reported by DFAS on your 1099. So again, use the MyPay website to get your 1099s. Almost done. Combat related special compensation. This is an easy one. These payments are non-taxable. Concurrent retirement disability payments, CRDP. CRDP is a restoration of your retired pay, not a separate benefit. Therefore, if your retired pay is taxable, so is any CRDP benefit you receive. If your retired pay is non-taxable, your CRDP is also non-taxable. So there's some good info there. There are a lot of ifs in this, and a lot of maybes. That's why you need to come to the source and get the information. Last one, former spouse deductions. The retiree is not liable for taxes on payments made to their former spouse. The Uniform Services Former Spouse Protection Act defines community property payments established in accordance with a court order and approved by the DFAS legal department as pre-tax deductions. All right, so that's all the reading. That's the real info there of what is taxable and what is not. And just since it wasn't since it wasn't listed on here, for those who may be wondering, survivor benefit annuity payments for survivors are taxable, and the dependency and indemnity compensation from the VA is not taxable. Now, just a reminder, starting this year and going through 2023, the DIC SBP annuity offset is slowly being phased out. So I recommend that you take a look at those videos as well. So that's the gist of this. That's it. And the title of this section of DFAS's website is it taxable? Just if you want to know. And of course it is in the show notes. So I hope that makes things a little bit clearer for everybody and straighten things out. Hopefully the guy who asked the question is watching. And this is where I got the information. This is straight from DFAS. This is what is correct. And really this is just a summation of what's in the law put into an easier format for us to all understand. So, arguing with a guy on a website is not the right way to go. This is the way to go. Go to the source. All right, everyone. I hope this was a useful and educational episode for everyone out there. And I do invite you, of course, to join me in next week's episode, because there'll be another great topic for you. If you would like to support my efforts in various ways, I invite you, first of all, to go to the patreon.com/rcretirement site and join at any of the pre-established levels there, or you can create one of your own. If you would like me to help you, you can go to rcretirement.com and look at the Fees for Services tab and see what array of services I can offer to you and at what price. And believe me here, what you pay there is far less than the benefit you will receive as a result. Lastly, if you have questions, concerns, comments, whatever, you can contact me in two ways. You can either email me at dj@rcretirement.com, or you can leave me a message through the SpeakPipe app on the website. And I went over how to use that last time. So that's all I have for today. As always, thank you for being part of this audience and choosing to spend your time with me. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, thank you for your service. Have a great day.
If you liked what you heard on today's episode, then please go below and give it a thumbs up, and be sure to subscribe to this channel. Also, please let other people know about this channel and the information it can provide for them. If you have questions or comments, then please have no qualms about posting them in the comments section below. Please remember the RC Retirement YouTube channel and the RC Retirement website are not recognized or endorsed by the Department of Defense, the Department of Veterans Affairs, or any other government agency. The information presented in these resources are for entertainment and informational purposes only. Also, the content of either of these resources should not be considered financial or legal advice. Please consult with your own legal counsel, accountant, or financial planner before making any decisions based on what you have learned here. As always, thank you for watching the RC Retirement YouTube channel.